All right, guys, congratulations on making it to the last lesson here in our student engagement mini course. So we started talking about us as teachers and what we are in control of. And that's what I want to kind of bookend this with, come back to it here, because I spent a lot of time talking about students and how we react to students, how we respond to students, how we treat them, how we teach our classes. But when it comes back to it, it comes back to us as teachers. And I want to empower you as we close out this mini course. So control what you can. You know, whatever is outside of your control, you gotta let it go because they're like those limiting beliefs. They are a weight that is holding you down. If you're worried about what, Bobby's mom's gonna say and how she's gonna whine and complain, that's just stealing your joy. That's stealing life out of you. Let go of it. Easier said than done. I understand that. I've had, letting go of that responsibility for my students' grades. That was a hard one for me. I used to get so upset and mad when kids did bad, but once again, it's their choice. I can't go home and make, Rebecca study. I can't do that. Rebecca gets to decide what Rebecca does, and Rebecca's choices determine her grade. If they all do bad because I didn't teach it well, that's on me, and I'll take that. But if they don't do well because they chose not to study, that's not on me. That's on them. Um, and I don't need to carry that weight. I don't need to carry, worrying about this administrator or that administrator. Like, to an extent, yes, you need to be mindful of those things and what their expectations are and work within the bounds you have. But you can't hold on to those things. You can't let them rob the energy that you need to teach your class effectively. So control what you can. What is yours? Own it. Do it. Be the best teacher with what you have. But if your budget's minuscule, don't hold yourself to some standard like up here. If you're a first year teacher, don't hold yourself to the standard of a master teacher. Like, be respectful of yourself. That's part of controlling what we can, controlling our expectations of ourselves, that kind of thing. Face your own limiting beliefs. I talked about limiting beliefs with students, and I kind of mentioned them about us, but they're critical. Here's two common ones. That kid will always be that way. That's a lie. Okay, that kid can grow. That kid can change. I can't teach chemistry. That's another one. That's also a lie. Because there's people like me here to try to help you. Okay, you can learn. You can do this. Don't buy into that crap. Um, Address it, face it, talk to people about it. Now, when I say face your own ways, I don't just mean like having a positive pep talk with yourself. It's deeper because beliefs are deeper than that, and so we need deeper work with that. And some of these, like I'm married to a therapist, but also believe that therapy is very helpful because it helps us see things about ourselves that we don't necessarily always see. We see the fruit of it, but I'm a firm believer the more we work in ourselves and work on ourselves, the better we are as teachers. The healthier we are, the better teacher we are, and the more healthy we can help our kids to be. This second one here, I must sacrifice myself for my students. I must burn the candle at both ends. Just a lie. Because when I'm burned out, I'm a horrible teacher. Because when I'm tired and I'm not sleeping and I'm burned out, I'm going to lecture the whole period. I'm going to sit at my desk. I'm not going to interact with the kids. All these things we've talked about in terms of things you can do to keep your kids engaged in class take energy. And if I'm not taking care of me, then that's just not working. Or the idea that I need another limiting belief is I must be on call at all times. That's a lie. I don't answer a parent email. Like, if a parent emails me at 9 o'clock at night, I'll respond when I get to school the next morning. I'm not answering at 9 o'clock at night. I'm with my family. Usually we go to bed pretty late in our house. So like I'm trying to get the kids down about 9. I'm focused on bedtime. I'm focused on being with my kids. I'm focused on being with my wife and talking with my wife, who I haven't seen all day long. Those are what I'm looking for. I'm not going to be responding to a parent. You know, even if they text me on my personal phone, which hopefully they don't have, somehow they get it sometimes. But just I don't respond to those things. I have a clear boundary there. That's not mine to take up, and that kind of thing. All right, so face your own limiting beliefs. Critical. Next big thing, take action. We've covered a lot in these 12 lessons. I mean, a lot. And so I want you to go in your workbook, and that last page is just kind of each lesson, just choose one little thing in each lesson that you want to take action on. But even more than that, pick one, maybe two out of all 12 and make those your goal for this semester or this quarter. Just because small steps lead to lasting change. Maybe you want to add all 12 of those action steps by the end of the year, but focus on one at a time. If you try to do all of it at once, it's overwhelming. It's too much. You just can't change that much that fast. Some people can somehow pull it off, but for most of us, that's not going to happen most of the time. And so it's critical that we pace ourselves, that we give ourselves grace to do this one step at a time. Like I remember for me, like one semester was like, I want to be consistent with communicating with parents, or I want to be better at, communicating to my students beforehand about these distractions. All this stuff I've been talking about. I mean, these are things I've learned over 15 plus years of teaching. It's not stuff I figured out my first year of teaching, or read one book and got it all figured out. These are things that have taken years to apply. And so give yourself grace, but also take action. Do something, move. That's critical. And so that's kind of, you are empowered because everything we talked about, you can know all of this, but if you're not actually making changes in your classroom, you're not actually doing and applying these things, you're going to stay where you've been. So take action. And so action step is simply this. Pick, whatever those 1 to 2 things you pick and say, this is what I want to do this semester, this quarter, share it with somebody else. And if it's something that has a timeline of like, hey, I want to do an alternative assessment by the end of the quarter, share with them by the end of the quarter, like share that deadline then so that they know that too. And so they can kind of, not necessarily to hold you accountable, but just, it's amazing that somehow when we tell somebody else, it makes it more real to us. And so if you have any questions on any of these things, if you want to know how to do better at this or how to grow at this or how to apply this, comment on the Facebook group. I'm in there. Other teachers are going to be in there to help you grow as a teacher. And I'm just so excited to see where you are going to go in maximizing your instruction and maximizing student learning by applying these lessons. So it's been an honor to spend these lessons with you. And I look forward to hearing your stories of how your classes have been changed and transformed for the better.